Also known as the Pork Bun Murders, this is perhaps one of the most notorious murder cases in Chinese history. It has been claimed that the perpetrator cut the victims' corpses into several pieces, and transformed them into pork meat to sell, which made it easy for him to hide the dead bodies. In 1985, the Immortals Restaurant turned into a haunted place flooded with blood when an experienced gambler Huang brutally murdered 10 members of the same family, due to alleged gambling debts exceeding $75,000. Macau, a major resort city located near Hong Kong in China, became one of the top destinations for gamblers after legalizing gambling in the 1850s, boasting a gambling industry 7 times larger than that of Las Vegas. With a birth name of Chen Shuling and being born in mainland China, Huang Zhiheng was reported to be involved in money-related crimes several times. He had various aliases for his different personalities, including his birth name, Chen Shuliang or Chen Yuliang. Almost nothing is known about his childhood or his family, but he reportedly immigrated to Hong Kong in the 1970s. In 1973, his money-related desires drove him to murder a man, and to ensure he wouldn't be linked to any of his past crimes, he burned off his fingerprints and severed the tip of his left index finger. Following this murder, he fled to Guangzhou, where he rented a house to live in, marking a significant twist in his life. Huang, a 50-year-old man, and Miss Li, the daughter of his landlord, fell in love despite Li's family's disapproval due to Huang's bad character. Undeterred by the objections, they eloped to Macau after numerous quarrels with Li's family. During this period, Huang became heavily involved in major gambling activities and crossed paths with Zheng Lin and his wife Chen, who would later become his greatest victims. 50-year-old Zheng Lin and his 42-year-old wife Chen Hui were renowned as some of the most dedicated gamblers during a particular era in Macau's gambling industry. They owned a successful restaurant named the Immortals Restaurant in the Lao Han suburb of Macau. Before venturing into the restaurant business, Zheng worked as a street vendor. However, in the 1960s, he transitioned his business into an establishment, marking a substantial financial success. The restaurant was a significant achievement for the Zheng family, with the entire family playing a role in running the restaurant and residing in close proximity to their business. During an evening of gambling in 1984, Zheng and his wife engaged in a series of high-stakes bets against Huang, who emerged victorious, winning 180,000 yuan or $20,000, and causing significant losses for Zheng and his wife. Despite the substantial amount owed, Zheng's gambling continued, leading to a mounting debt of 600,000 yuan or just over $75,000. Seeing no sign of repayment, Huang proposed a deal. If the debt remained unpaid within a year, Zheng would surrender his restaurant's mortgage to Huang. Faced with limited options, Zheng and his wife reluctantly agreed, leading to a temporary semblance of peace for a few more days. On August 4, 1985, as the Zheng family closed their restaurant and prepared for the next day, Huang entered the restaurant, demanding 30,000 patakas. Zheng refused to pay, prompting Huang to lower the demand to 20,000 patakas, but to no avail. Despite an earlier promise, Zheng also refused to surrender restaurant ownership. Frustrated, Huang's vulnerable side emerged, leading him to grab the couple's only son, 7-year-old Antonio Zheng, as a hostage. In an unexpected turn of events, Huang seized an empty beer bottle, turning it into a weapon. He held the bottle near Antonio's neck, threatening the family to tie each other up. When a female family member tried to escape and screamed for help, Huang stabbed her in the neck with the jagged beer bottle in front of her horrified family. Determined to eliminate the entire family, including their 4 daughters, Natalia, Stefani, Zoe, and Joanna, Huang resorted to strangling or stabbing. Realizing that one family member was missing, Huang searched and successfully killed her as well. Over the next 8 hours, Huang spent the night in the Zheng residence, meticulously cleaning the bloody crime scene and collecting the corpses of the Zheng couple, their 5 children, and 3 other family members, 61-year-old chef Zheng Buliang, the 70-year-old mother of Chen Zhen, and her 60-year-old aunt, Chen Lirong. That night, Huang succeeded in obtaining the money and crucial restaurant ownership documents he sought. It wasn't until the following morning that a restaurant's delivery truck driver discovered the establishment had closed. A note on the front door stated that it would remain shut for 3 days. The delivery driver found this surprising, since he hadn't received prior notification about the closure. To confirm, he headed to Zheng's residence, and upon arrival, he was astonished to find an unknown man named Huang there. When questioned about Zheng and his family, Huang calmly revealed that they had left for an urgent trip to China. Satisfied with the explanation, the driver left, unaware that Zheng and his entire family had been killed by Huang. Just 3 days after the murders, Huang took control of the restaurant, resuming normal operations. On August 8, 1985, a swimmer discovered 8 pieces of human limbs on the nearby Hak Sa beach. Initially, the analysis of the limbs suggested that a group of illegal immigrants or smugglers from mainland China had been consumed by sharks after their boat capsized. However, a more detailed analysis later revealed that the limbs had not been torn apart. Instead, they had been cut off neatly by someone. This revelation sent chills down the spines of the entire Chinese police community, prompting a search for missing people in the city. In the following days, additional human body parts washed ashore on Macau's beaches, leading investigators to conclude that these body parts belonged to at least 4 different individuals. As events unfolded on the television screen, distant relatives of the Zheng family grew concerned. None of the 10 members who operated the restaurant had been reachable for several days. In response, these relatives approached the police, prompting an immediate investigation. It was during this inquiry that the police made a grim discovery: the limbs found on the beach belonged to the missing members of the Zheng family. In the meantime, Huang resumed and sustained the operation of the restaurant, a move deemed unconventional, yet justifiable. His close ties with the family, coupled with his possession of the restaurant's ownership documents, played a significant role in this decision. Furthermore, he had rented out the Zheng residence to generate additional income for himself, sparking suspicion within various communities. Although the police were unable to arrest Huang initially, as he possessed all the legal documents for the restaurant and Zheng's house, their curiosity intensified. Days later, when authorities decided to scrutinize Huang's bank holdings, they made an unexpected discovery. Among the findings were documents belonging to Zheng Lin and the student ID cards of his children. These clues, along with the suspicious activities, justified Huang's arrest. He was eventually apprehended and detained on September 28, 1986, just over a year after the murders. Shortly after, on October 2, 1986, he was convicted and charged with the murder of all 10 members of the Zheng family. On the 6th of October, Huang confessed to the murders, providing detailed accounts of how he brutally killed each member of the family one by one. While incarcerated, he attempted suicide twice, tragically succeeding on the second attempt on December 4, when he inflicted wounds on his wrists using a bottle cap. He penned a suicide note and sent a letter to a local newspaper elucidating his actions. In his note, he clarified that his decision to end his life was not related to his crimes, but motivated by a desire to escape his chronic asthma and be free from his illness. The final set of body parts connected to these 10 murders was found 4 years later in a trash dump in 1989. One of the most unsettling aspects of this crime is the circulating rumor about what Huang did with the remaining body parts. Allegedly, Huang used the body parts of the murdered Zheng family as filling in pork buns, which he then sold to the restaurant's customers. This macabre practice served his motive of disposing of the 10 bodies more efficiently. Although the police never officially confirmed this allegation, the fate of the remaining body parts from all 10 members of the Zheng family remains unknown, as only limbs were discovered. This shocking murder incident inspired a 1993 movie, titled The Untold Story, screened in Hong Kong cinemas. The film portrayed a fictionalized version of the murder of the Zheng family, even depicting cannibalism following the killings. The question remains, were the human body parts genuinely cooked and served?